And what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going over my MLB Draftkings Fanduel and Prizepicks plays for Saturday, July 30th. Happy Saturday to everybody watching. Hope you guys are going to enjoy the day. We have a sports-filled Saturday, UFC, big card tonight, a couple of baseball slates early in Maine, and got the golf and stuff like that finishing up, in the third round. Let's go ahead and get started. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe. If you have not already, you can check out the other links down below in the description if you are interested in the Twitter Prizepicks code or the website. And let's go ahead and get started today. First game up, we have the Mariners against the Astros. Mariners made a big trade last night, getting Luis Castillo, shoring up their rotation, because Flexen has not been great. He's been okay as like a fifth starter for them, but one of these guys is going to get bumped out now that they got Castillo. In this game, not too much interest for me at all on the Mariners side. That's to be expected. They have a 3.4 total going up against Valdez on the road. Maybe Kyle Lewis, Rodriguez look like okay one-off plays, but that's for tournaments only. On the Astros side, Flexen is a well below average strikeout pitcher, so a lot of these guys are already very low strikeout rates anyways, like Alvarez, Bregman, all those guys will be able to hit really well and make some good contact, hopefully against Flexen with the wind blowing out. Should see some runs scored from the Astros side today. Bregman, Alvarez look like a couple of my favorites. Value-wise, you can look like Pena as a shortstop option and like the three guys at the bottom if you needed to go that cheap. Next game up, we got Cueto against Blackburn. Cueto looks like an okay pitcher option today. Even Blackburn doesn't look terrible at 67. If you needed a complete punt, he's been their best pitcher. From the Oakland side, he made their all-star team. The lone player from the team that made the all-star game. And then on the A side, don't have any interest in the bats. Only guys I ever do consider is like Laureano, and then the leadoff hitter if I needed to go with the min-price guy. But don't think I'll need to do that today. Got the Phillies going up against the Pirates. Phillies, big win. They won in extras last night. It's still a big win for them because they came out of the All-Star break getting swept by the Cubs, and they took 2 out of 3 from Braves, and so far they're up 2-0. On the Pirates, it's a 4-game series, I believe. So they got Ranger Suarez, who's been very good for them as like a fourth starter this year. He's kind of been asked to still be like fourth starter, but since Eflin's gone down, they've kind of had to shake up the back end of the rotation a little bit. But Hoskins had a great day yesterday, 4 hits. He's a super streaky hitter. He's one of the streakiest hitters on the Phillies and in baseball in general. He had a home run to get them the win last night. Would not be shocked if he has a nice streak going where extra base hits after yesterday's performance, and even a couple days before, he was starting to hit the ball better. And then Suarez looks like one of my favorite pitcher options today at $7,600 going up against a weak Pirates team. When you have Greg Allen batting second, Ben Gamla's the 5th guy, Chavez as the 4th guy. This lineup is very weak. Next game up, we got the Padres against the Twins. 2 guys that you can consider for pitcher. Like Musgrove looks fine, but probably like going a little bit cheaper today so I can pay up for the Braves bats and pay up for the Dodgers bats. I don't have any interest in the offenses. The pitchers look fine if you needed to go there. We got the Cardinals look okay today. They're probably like my 4th team to stack behind, definitely the Braves, the Dodgers, and you can make a case for potentially the Astros in front of them. Cardinals going up against Eric Fedde. They have a decent ballpark to hit in. They're 2 best hitters. Nice 3-4 combo if you wanted to stack them in Goldschmidt and Arenado. They got some other cheap guys around them if you needed to go with like a Donovan or a Gorman. I don't have any interest in the Nationals bats at all, except for Victor Robles. If he batting leadoff at 2K, get you a really, really cheap guy in the outfield with some speed, and then Yadiel Hernandez as well at 2K gives you some power and makes decent contact. We have Austin Riley continues to mash baseballs. Another huge game for him last night. He's been one of the most exciting players in baseball this year. He was already great last season, and this year took a huge step up in terms of batting average, not striking out as much, and the power. He's just been off the charts. I loved their stack today against Corbin Martin. Not much experience for him. Should get hit hard against these powerful Braves bats. Why they have one of the highest totals on the slate. 6.9 total for the Dodgers going up against Kyle Freeland. They got their best pitcher, Kershaw, going at it. Kershaw looks like a decent pitcher if you want to pay up for him, even though it is a Coors game. But I don't think you need to do that because you got Junis in the next game, who's really cheap at 77. They got a 3.8 total. But the Dodgers are the best stack today. Trey Thompson at $2,800 looks like a great value. He's been hitting the ball a lot better recently. And then otherwise, you're looking at Betts and Turner as my favorite plays from the Dodgers side. Giants against a lefty and Smiley. I believe he was with them last year or the year before. for at least part of the season. Slater, Ruff, really cheap, good hitters against lefties. Same thing can be said for Wilmer Flores. If you wanted to consider a Mercedes, $2,400 batting cleanup, that looks fine. And the last game, don't have much interest. Two poor offenses. We got not two of the best pitchers going at it, but some of these price tags are already high, like Simeon and Corey Seager. They're already priced up. Odolis is over $5K, so don't have any interest in the Rangers bats. And then Angels offense just been so poor that don't have any much interest besides like Ohtani or Walsh as a one-off or a mini stack. Going back over to DraftKings, I'm going cheap at the pitcher spots today with a Junis Ranger Suarez combination. Junis gets a good matchup against the Cubs. He has a very low ERA. It's been a limited number of starts because he was hurt for a bit. But this is his third start back after missing over a month. And he only threw 34 pitches out of relief against the Brewers. And his next game that he started, which was after like 8 days of rest after the All-Star break. He threw 62 pitches. So today he probably will hopefully throw like 80. Before he got hurt, he was throwing 96, 92. So unlike a lot of the pitchers, Gabe Kapler actually was letting him go deep. And then Suarez gets a great matchup against the Pirates. He's been steady for the Phillies, going 5, 6, 7 innings most of the starts. He also will go deep into the game. Last couple starts hasn't really gone that deep, but he did go 110 against Atlanta, 94 before that. So Phillies don't really like to... they do like to let their starters go if they're having a good game, unlike some other teams. At first base, going Rhys Hoskins. He's hot right now. In his last 10, he's batting .308. He had a monster game yesterday with the 4 hits, including the 2-run bomb in the 10th inning. And then before that, he had 10 and 12 fantasy points with a stolen base as well mixed in there. Not really a guy for speed. That's his first stolen base on the season, but he does strike out a lot, 106 strikeouts. But Keller, not the best strikeout pitcher at all, looking at his numbers. So if Hoskins is seeing the ball really well like he is right now, and yeah, he's well below a strikeout per inning, and Hoskins is very streaky, so I would not be surprised if he has another couple of hits, if not another home run today. Next up, we have some other good plays from the Dodgers side. At shortstop, Trey Turner at $6,000. I love playing him against any sort of lefty. He's always good. Gives you speed. He hits for a really high average. He has a lot of RBI opportunities, and this game and Coors should be high scoring, at least for the Dodgers side. 372 average in his last 10. Not a strikeout guy much, only 6 Ks in his last 43 at-bats, and on the road he's been hitting a lot better. 325 with 8 bombs. Skipped over third base. At third base today, I'm going with Austin Riley. He's been a staple for a large part of my lineups recently. I try to get to him whenever I can if they have a high total. Typically, it always works out. He's been the hottest hitter in baseball recently over the last month. 436 in his last 10 games with 4 home runs, only 7 strikeouts, which is really low for a guy that typically does strike out a lot, and don't have much strikeout worries at all today, at least against the starter. And then maybe the bullpen be a different story, but he's just been mashing every single game, lots of games, multiple hits recently, just been very, very fun. He's making a case for MVP in the National League. And then in the outfield, you have a number of guys to pick from, but wanted to go with the value pick, Trey Thompson, the brother of Klay Thompson, if you were not aware. But he's only $2,800. He gets to start against lefties, so against Freeland, he'll be in there really cheap, probably batting like 6th or 7th, depending on where they want to put Max Muncy against a lefty. And he's been also hitting the ball better, 355 with a couple of bombs in his last 10. He also does strike out a lot, 14 times. But Freeland's strikeout stuff have also come way down recently, and he's in Coors, so it gets a great matchup. So that's it for DraftKings. FanDuel is very similar. I'll touch on that. So on FanDuel, same exact hitters that I'm looking at. Rhys Hoskins at only $3,000. Riley as a pay-up third base option. Third base and shortstop are usually the spots I like to pay up if I can. Both guys are the top most expensive guys, but that's why I'm going a little bit cheaper with Suarez. You don't have a ton of aces today. Musgrove, Valdez, but they're about like tier 2, and then Kershaw is an ace, but he's in Coors, and then next tier is like the Cueto, Sonny Gray combination, but I don't mind going Suarez at 84. And then Trey Thompson has a value, $2,600, looks like a great option. So that's it for DraftKings FanDuel. Let's go over to Prizepicks. So on Prizepicks, got 5 plays plugged in here. First one is Jakob Junis, over 3.5 strikeouts. If you look at his game logs, it's been The last couple starts he's missed it because he's been limited with the pitch count, two strikeouts. But he threw 62 pitches last start. Would not be shocked if he gets like over 75, 80 today. Now that this is his third game back, third appearance back. Did have a relief appearance mixed in, but before he got hurt, he was hitting this pretty often in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 starts. He hit it, and he only missed it in 1, 2, 3 starts. So 6 of 9 before he got actually 6 of 9 because those starts don't count. That's a pretty good percentage. Even last year when he was with the Royals, he was striking out at least like 4 or 5 batters a game. So at this number against a team that strikes out a lot in the Cubs, love taking the over there. Kershaw got over 4.5. Another one that's also very low. I know it's in cores, but Kershaw has been hitting this number for most of his starts this year. He's averaging well over a strikeout per inning, and he's a guy that will go 7, 8 innings routinely. So he's hit this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in his last 11, I believe. So that's a pretty good range. He's on the road where he has done better. He didn't have the great start against Rockies earlier this year, but that was when the Rockies, they started off the season hitting the ball better, but recently like CJ Cron has cooled off. He's batting like 150 in his last 10 games. So there are strikeouts to be had in the Rockies lineup. And then I'm going with the powerful bats that I like today. Riley over 1.5 bases, Mookie Betts over 9.5 fantasy, and Trey Turner over 9.5 fantasy. We already know Turner and Betts are really good against lefties, and they get Kyle Freeland, who, looking at his numbers today or on the season, he got a nice contract from the Rockies. He was really good a couple years ago, but this year and last year he's kind of fallen off. The strikeouts are disappeared. Only 76 strikeouts now. Did coming off his best start of the season, but that was in Milwaukee. At home, he has a 5.66 ERA, only 33 strikeouts. He's given up 8 bombs. Expect the Dodgers bats to continue to do some damage against this pitching staff from the Rockies. And that's kind of it. I mean, I do like Rhys Hoskins over 7 fantasy if you wanted to play him. There are some other good hitters early on in the early slate, once again, the Blue Jays look good today if you want to play any of them over fantasy. But that's basically it for me. Looking at if there's anything good at pitching out. This wasn't up when I started making the video. Possibly Ranger Suarez if you wanted to play him, or even like Kershaw. I don't mind that at all at 17.5. It's pretty low. That's it for me. Best of luck today. Hope you guys enjoy your Saturday. Leave any questions down below and I'll get to them whenever I have time. And I'll see you all next time.